Come with us as we watch Netflix's version of Totally Killer on Amazon Prime. On April 18th, 2003, in a small town named Sweetly, Summer Field is welcomed by a schoolmate, Quinn. Oh look, it's Ginny without Georgia. Quinn hands her a letter, but another student named Ethan takes her inside for the party. Fat Joe's What's Love song brings me back. The place is filled with a lot of students, despite the tragic events that happened in the previous days. Ethan makes a toast to his and Summer's friends, Emmy, Brian, and Val, who were killed by a serial killer. Summer admits she misses Emmy so much. While talking, Ethan accidentally spills his drink on her, so she has to go to the ladies' room. Not long after that, 2 police officers show up, responding to a call about an illegal party at the Hayshed barn. They tell the students to leave the barn right away, not noticing that the masked killer is already looking for its next target, Summer. When the killer tries to stab Summer, she manages to dodge the attack and run outside to ask for help. However, no one can hear her screaming, so she continues to hide from the Sweetly slasher. Unfortunately, the killer spots where she's hiding, and there's no other place for her to go when he catches up and cuts her small back with a scythe. April 18th, 2024, 20 years after Summer dies, the effect of her sudden death looms around her house. Her younger sister Lucy knows that their town is greatly affected by the deaths of 4 teenagers who were murdered by a serial killer in 2003. After getting accepted for an internship at NASA, Lucy shares the news with her teacher, Mr. Fleming, but Lucy knows that her parents won't let her stay in DC for 3 months. She knows she can't escape the deaths that overshadow her life. Their parents even keep Summer's room just the way it was when she died. Lucy starts playing a CD, and it's the song from White Chicks. Lucy accidentally finds the letters Summer hid under her floorboard, and one of them, signed by E, tells Summer she'll never be free. When Lucy tells her parents about the internship, they're quick to panic, and her father even offers to get her an internship at the company he's working for, SONR. They drive to the now run-down Hayshed barn for Summer's death anniversary. While the entire family pays their respects, Lucy's mom asks if she has anything to give to Summer. She's not prepared, so she considers giving her necklace instead. But suddenly something catches her attention. She follows the sound, and it leads her into the abandoned barn. She's surprised to see that the noise is coming from a sizable machine. Curious, Lucy clicks the screen, and the machine shows a date from 2003. It starts to work, and just when she thinks it's going to explode, it flashes some light, and then it turns quiet. She runs out to check on her parents, and she quickly realizes that the barn looks different. Her mom and dad are not where she left them, and she can't find a signal for her phone. So she runs as fast as she can back to the town center to see what happened. Everything looks different, and the town is full of life. She looks around and discovers that it's 2003. Realizing that she has time traveled to 20 years ago, she thinks only of one person that could help her, Mr. Fleming. She heads to school to look for him and sees that everything in the high school screams 2003, from Wheelies, Uggs, and Hillary Duff starts playing. Lucy quickly recognizes a familiar face in the crowd, her sister Summer. She looks happy, bright, friendly, and has absolutely no idea who she is. Someone asks, "What's crack-a-lackin'?" Ethan Myers tries to talk to Summer about getting back together, but she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. A friend, Brian, tries to distract him, and the two decide to bother someone else, Quinn, the school nerd. Lucy finds her teacher in the science lab and asks him about time travel. He points Lucy to another student in the room, Quinn, saying he's a physics genius who can help her out. Quinn tells her that traveling in the past is a horrible idea. On her way out, she sees Emmy, who in Lucy's timeline died a day before Summer was killed. Lucy checks what the commotion is about, and she sees the students cheering as Brian and Ethan are about to throw Quinn in the river. Lucy steps in and saves Quinn before turning her attention to Ethan. Ethan is pissed and embarrassed, but a teacher arrives, so no one says anything more. Lucy thinks that if Quinn is really smart like what Mr. Fleming said, he could help her go back to her timeline. She confesses to him that she's from the future, and he believes her after he sees her phone. Quinn is convinced right away after seeing that the modern phone is not like anything he has seen in his time. He wonders if the Terminator becomes president, and boy, it gets worse. Lucy notices that Emmy and Summer are fighting, and Summer catches her watching, so she approaches her. She mistakes Lucy for someone from camp, then she apologizes to Quinn for how her friends acted, before asking him to lend her his homework. Afterward, Lucy takes Quinn to the barn to pick up the time machine, which they take to Quinn's garage. They figure that the machine needs antimatter, which they can get at the Nuclear Research Facility, SONR. Meanwhile, Summer is still apologizing to Emmy, but Emmy tells her to leave her alone, and Quinn explains to Lucy that she shouldn't change anything in the past. After that, Lucy asks him for a ride, and he figures out that Lucy and Summer are sisters. Quinn advises Lucy not to talk to her family, but Lucy knows the only way they can get to Sonar is if they get her father's keycard. Quinn comes up with an excuse and tells Summer that he's there to give her the homework. Summer is frustrated because Quinn brought the wrong homework, but he assures Summer there's no need to worry because Lucy is willing to help her out. Summer introduces Lucy to her parents, and Lucy can't help but notice how happy their parents are. The house is bright and not like the one she grew up in. Her parents, not knowing who she is, greet her and ask her to join them for dinner. Lucy realizes her parents were very different people when Summer was still alive. Later, Lucy admits to Summer that their parents are very different from each other. She notices how her mom and dad dote on Summer, but they act cold and distant around her. Summer sympathizes and reveals that she has her own share of struggles. She's not good with schoolwork or any subjects, which is why she accepted Quinn's offer when he asked to help her out with her studies. Later that night, Summer helps her pick something new to wear, letting her pick from her own closet, getting in touch with their inner white girl, and the two hit it off like they've known each other forever. So what the hell happened to studying? Lucy sees Val and Brian's photo and hears from Summer how she considers the two as her best friends. Lucy knows the two are about to die that night, but she's unsure if she should change the course of events in that timeline. She asks Summer if she'd do anything to stop a bad thing from happening, and Summer says she would. So Lucy drops everything and rushes to get to the mall to save Val and Brian. Luckily, she finds a scooter to get her there faster. The mall is about to close when Lucy gets there, and she sees not only Mr. Fleming, but also Ethan. Meanwhile, Val wants to try on a few more shirts, so Brian waits for her. Lucy finds Quinn closing a store, and he confirms that Val and Brian are at the mall. Then he points Lucy to the shop on the 3rd floor. Suddenly, the Sweetly Slasher appears and stabs Brian in the neck using a broken CD. It's always the black one that dies first. Val discovers Brian's dead body, and she tries to hide before the masked killer gets her. But it doesn't take long before he spots her and starts chasing her inside the boutique. Lucy arrives just in time to save Val, and she tries to stop the killer from getting to his next victim. They run quickly to escape him, but as they take the escalator, the Sweetly Slasher catches up and waits to attack. Lucy calls the security guard for help, but by the time he comes, the masked killer has already slammed Val's head on the escalator, cracking her skull. The poor guard also ends up dying after the killer stabbed him in the stomach. Then just like that, he leaves Lucy and Quinn alone. Quinn lets Lucy stay in his place while she processes what happened. In her timeline, the killer didn't kill a security guard, so now she's worried that she's altered the events by trying to stop him and ended up getting another one killed. Quinn learns that the Sweetly Slasher killed more students, but he doesn't want to know who they are. Lucy admits that her mother had always suspected Ethan to be the killer, but he had alibis for all of the murders. Do y'all have any clue to who it is? Let us know before it's revealed. Quinn knows they shouldn't mess up with the events, so they decide that it's time for Lucy to go home. The next day, Summer catches Lucy while she's trying to steal their father's keycard. Lucy then finally admits she's from the future, and she's Summer's sister, only that she hasn't been born yet in 2003. She hands Summer the letter she got from under her floorboard, but Summer hasn't received a letter like that yet. Lucy admits she's not looking forward to going back home. Meanwhile, Summer finds a letter in her locker, exactly the same as the one Lucy gave her. She finally believes Lucy, but Lucy can't tell her that she's about to die. Lucy then reveals that Emmy Golden is about to die that night at the Marine Museum. Summer convinces Quinn and Lucy that they have to save Emmy, so they head to the museum right away. Emmy is alone, and she doesn't notice that the killer is lurking just behind her. Luckily, they get to her just in time before the killer does. Summer and Emmy are all sweet and touchy, while Lucy thinks about what she should do next. She realizes that the letter signed E is from Emmy and not Ethan. So Summer reveals that she promised Emmy they would come out to their parents, and Emmy got mad at her when she didn't. Oh, she into scissoring. The next day, Lucy asks her parents if they think about having another baby, and they say that one child has always been enough for them. Lucy grabs the key card and heads to Quinn's garage, where she finds his love letter for Summer. Lucy admits she hasn't told Summer she was about to die, because Lucy figures out that if Summer lives, her parents wouldn't want to have another baby. Quinn still wants to save Summer, despite Lucy telling him that if Summer survives, she wouldn't be born. She tells Summer about her dilemma, and they both want each other to survive and live. So Lucy comes up with a plan to save them both. She sneaks in the sauna facility, only to find that the Sweetly slasher got there first. He killed a security guard and stole a caster of antimatter. Then Lucy realizes that the killer is from the future, and that the machine belongs to him. Meanwhile, Summer attends the party as planned and decides it's time to kiss Emmy and show the students they are in love. The killer shows up and starts chasing her. Summer closes her eyes, ready for the attack, when Quinn's car breaks the barn door and hits the killer. To everyone's surprise, the killer removes his mask and reveals his real identity. It's Quinn from the future. Who saw that twist coming from a mile away? They return to the garage and Quinn tells Lucy he's never going to be a killer, and Lucy believes him. While they're trying to get the machine to work, future Quinn shows up and says he killed the 4 teenagers for bullying him, something he decided after they threw him in the river, and that Summer made it worse when she rejected him. He decides to commit the murders, then jumps through time to escape. Lucy knows Quinn is not going to be a killer because she saved him from being thrown in the river. She grabs future Quinn, and they are transported to 2024 when the machine starts working. Then Lucy stabs him before he can kill her. Then she takes the antimatter from him. In the 2003 timeline, Quinn and Summer are surprised to see that Lucy came back. Lucy admits that she went to see her parents and they didn't even know who she is, which is why she's staying in 2003 for good. She still gets accepted at NASA for their 2003 internship program, and Summer and Emmy are now dating out in the open. And Lucy is convinced that her life here is so much better. Girl, you better invest in Apple stocks. What did y'all think of this one? It was a little cheesy, but a fun slasher Halloween flick.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.